With what light in your hand have you come to this world? O ascetic, O lover, O mad one, with what light in your hand have you come to this world? In search of whom do you set fire to all joy and roam restlessly, I wonder? Who makes you cry so pitifully? Who is it that you love? This world is full of grief and fret. They beat on your heartstrings. Yet even in the face of deep danger, you see the smile on mother's face and laugh. You have no worry or care. Who is your soul, traveler? I wonder. You forget death and plunge into the eternal stream of life. You float joyously. With what light in your hand have you come to this world? O ascetic, O lover, O mad one, with what light in your hand have you come to this world?
कौन सा वो दीप है जिसके संग लेके तुम इस जग में आए हो? साधक बनके, प्रेमी बनके बावरे इस जग में आए हो। ये संसार जो है, दुख से दर्द से मन का यहाँ पर झनझन तार तो है। संकट के भी तले किस ममता कारण तेरे मुख पे ये मुस्कान पले? तुम्हें चिंता नहीं सताए? कौन तुम्हारा सुख साथी है ये न समझ में आए? मरना जीना क्या, बस एक तुम हो और सुख का है एक गहरा सागर। साधक बनके, साधु बनके, प्रेमी बनके बावरे इस जग में आए हो। कौन सा वो दीप है जिसको संग लेके तुम इस जग में आए हो? Translating Tagore is intimidating. I mean, the very thought, because the name really overwhelms you. But the fact is that when you listen to his poetry carefully, even if you don't know Bengali, the very phonetics of the poetry is so overwhelming, so empowering, and in a very gentle manner, that you just don't know whether you will be able to translate this magic, which is in the sound of the language, the way he uses words. And then when you come to the translation, when you understand what he is writing, then you realize that he is saying heart-wrenching things in the most simple language. He is not being clever with words at all. He is just putting all his cards on the table, the cards of his heart, as a matter of fact, and showing you what he feels in the most simple manner. And this simplicity is much more effective than any complicated, any intricate or ornate language. So to maintain this musicality, to be able to capture some of its depth, its simplicity, and it doesn't sound like a regular made poetry written by an intellectual, a giant of an intellectual. It has, as a writer, whatever little experience I have, I feel, the ultimate thing which is most difficult to achieve is simplicity. If you know words, if you know language, if you know metering, you can be clever, you can be smart, you can play with words, turn of phrases and so on. But to say what you really mean, which is in your heart in the most simple language, is very difficult. Because for that you have to bring some kind of purity in yourself, which is almost lost in today's world. I come from Urdu discipline. My mother tongue is Urdu. And I must make an honest confession that people who write Urdu, speak Urdu, read Urdu, they are rather chauvinistic about their language. And they believe, this is the language. But honestly, in India, if they have respect for any other language, and as a matter of fact, a kind of reverence for any literature, any poetry, any prose, that is Bengali. And I have read all the classical Bengali literature in Urdu in my childhood. And obviously it was available in Urdu because some Urdu writers, people who could write books, had certain respect or reverence for it. I think the influence of Tagore and his times has spread out, and sometimes we don't even know that it is his influence. Again, that simplicity, that depth, saying things what you really mean without being very artful about it. This has entered in cinema through new theatres. It has entered Bombay film industry also through people like Bimal Roy and Ritwik Ghatak and so on. It has entered poetry. Let me tell you, my maternal uncle Majaz was a great poet of Urdu. He was perhaps the first progressive poet of Urdu literature, even before Faiz Ahmad Faiz. He has only one book, Ahang, that is a collection of his poems. He died very young. He was hardly 40. In that small book, he has one poem that is the translation of Tagore. And he has mentioned that, Gardner. He translated it in 30s. So Tagore's influence on a poetry or a prose, or that value system, that simplicity, which is even Shantiniketan is a kind of remnants of that, has entered in Urdu greatly from Bengali literature and Bengali influence. Otherwise, Urdu was rather proud of its style and its intricate, beautiful, fascinating expressions. But this is something, maybe some people, some Urdu people will disagree with me, I don't know. But I feel this is the influence of Tagore and his contemporaries.